Guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with part 6 of the Sweet Apple Acres speed build for My Little Pony LP update. Today we're working on the living room for the farmhouse, obviously. So I just kind of started off with building a fireplace area because, obviously I didn't build it into the build. But I was thinking about it afterward when I started doing the decorating that I really wanted to do a fireplace. I really wanted a fireplace in there. So to make it a little more realistic, I decided to obviously put like the chimney in there. I kind of like that in The Sims 3 you put a fireplace down and it automatically put out a chimney for you. But at the same time, I kind of like this better. I never think to build the chimney, so I think that's why, like, when the Sims 3 one used to just do it for you, was nice, but at the same time, this is way better, because if you remember to do it, because you can obviously match the brick or the stone, whatever you want on the outside. It's not going to look ridiculous. It can be whatever color on the outside and a different color on the inside. It's not linked, and the fact that you can just put a fireplace in, like, the middle of a room, and there's not automatically going to be a chimney going through the center of your house. Because that'll always bug me in The Sims 3, like, hey, I want to be cool and have this fireplace in this random spot, and why now I have a chimney in the middle of a bedroom and it looks weird. Like the cool fireplaces that you can see from like a living room and a kitchen. Ooh, that would have looked really cool in here, but wouldn't have worked, but not stuff for the style. But anyway, so yeah, I kind of wanted to do a fireplace because I kind of figure, the Apple family is the kind of family who would be sitting around the fire, reading some books, enjoying some apples or apple cider, which now makes me want apple cider, by the way. Hanging out and talking and socializing as a family in front of the fireplace. Sorry, I just bumped the microphone. As opposed to, sitting around watching TV or something. Obviously, I do give them a TV because, hey, they're Sims still, and Sims get tense and frustrated and need TV time. So, that's kind of what this little table off on the side is going to be for. That's where their TV is going to go. Just little out of the way. So not much of a TV. I was actually trying to like rotate it to be on an angle, and it kept aligning perfectly straight with the table. And I'm like, okay, I want the table on a slight angle, and I want the TV on a little bit more of one. And it wouldn't let me do that, and it was just aggravating. But yeah, so I just whatever. And I can't stand the fact that then there's blank space behind, so I have to put like a plant or something there to just fill it in. Because that one was a little tall and strange. So yeah, so I'm just kind of trying to find, obviously, things that I like and things that would work. And it was actually really hard, getting a plant into the back corner there because you blow them up a little bit bigger and then the leaves go through the wall and it looks ridiculous. So I ended up using that one that was like the sunflowers in the little can because it's kind of rusticy and cute. Eventually ties in. I put like one of the sunflower paintings up there behind the fireplace, so it was like really cool. I liked that we went with the theme. I think actually the living room ends up being the same colors as Granny Smith's bedroom with the yellow and the green and the like aqua kind of color, but whatever. It just all kind of matched and kind of fell together. Obviously, I didn't really go into this with, like, this is exactly what I'm going to do. It was more like, I kind of know, obviously, it's got to be, like, a little rusticy. It's got that little kind of country Victorian flair thing going on. I don't want anything super modern. Obviously, like, when I kind of put out the little knickknacks and things all over the fireplace and everything, it's like a hodgepodge. It's a little bit of a mess. Like, I didn't go with, we can't use these because they look too, like, modern. Because obviously they're going to buy new things here and there. But, I just kind of wanted that little bit of clutter. I kind of like these little frame holders because I have, like, 4 of those floating around. They don't have actually pictures in them, to be honest with you. Because I have picture frames hanging up that are empty. I'm really not good with taking pictures. But yeah, so I kind of like them because, they just added something, like, hey, they would have pictures around. I kind of wish you could put your Sims, like, pictures in them. I thought that would actually be kind of cool. And I'm sorry that if the audio just sound messed up there because I was doing my dubbing, minding my own business, just talking away like always, and Adobe Premiere just decided to stop my recording. So I'm like talking and I'm not recording my voice. This is awesome. Yes, so if it cuts out there and just sounds completely like it was pieced together and it's dumb, that's because it is pieced together and Premiere is dumb. So, yeah. Of all the problems that I have, I don't need it to stop me from talking. Because, like, I'm lucky I didn't, 20 minutes from now look back and go, oh, okay, I've been talking for, an hour and nothing's been recording. Awesome. Yeah, it was only, I think, I have, 30 seconds. And I was like, and I just talked about all this stuff and whatever. No, it's just about, those picture frames, and, it would be cute to put your Sims pictures, in them, but, whatever. Yeah, so, trying to get back into the swing of things now. Yeah, so, of course, everything that I kind of am doing decorating-wise and, color-wise is kind of going off that sunflower painting, the blues and the greens and the yellow, and, yellowy greens, and, whatever. And of course, when I painted the walls, half of my decorations disappeared. So all the stuff that we just put out is missing because move objects on is ridiculous. So you'll see me put those back in a second. But yeah, so yeah, I kind of just did a hodgepodge of decorations in here because I don't know, it doesn't have to be with all the decorative stuff. That doesn't have to be totally all country stuff. I mean, the little picture frame holder things, they're whatever, they're kind of modern looking, but they don't really they're not too noticeable, you know what I'm saying? They're very small details, it's just a little something. So I just kind of went with that and was just throwing things around, so it kind of looked a little bit cluttered, they have collections of things, because it's, I don't know, it's just, I feel like the way they would be, so yeah, here we go, putting that plant back. Way to go, move objects! Fabulous. But yeah, so I do. Oh man, the lack of ability to just move things around, everything slaps to a slot, drives me crazy. I actually do show in a little bit the little posts that I was talking about in the prior video, where you can put them in, and this way you can create your own spaces. I do end up using them with this table here. I put it in the backyard as well. But I kind of, this is kind of how I jump around. So I was trying to find a side table or something for in the living room. I found that table, and then I'm trying to fit it out here because it's so freaking cute. Just a little country farm, and it works perfectly out here on the patio. And I kind of just used it as it looks like a little serving tray. Table. It's got little wheels. You can just push it out there. So of course I put books on it because books go on everything around here. Books and apples. And I'm kind of trying to put some tea stuff out. And I think I put a little thing of cakes or biscuits, a little decorative thing. So it kind of just looks hey, you're sitting out here enjoying reading a book with your tea and your snacks and whatever. Obviously it's not this is the first area I've done this to, because there's one over by the barn, and I keep thinking about putting in a little picnic kind of area somewhere out on the lawn, but the same thing, so it just gives the house a very lived in kind of vibe, and that's kind of what I really want. I houses like this need to have a lot of decor, a lot of filler, a lot of things crammed in every little nook and cranny, because that's just natural for the house, I think. It's not a modern house. They don't need to have everything sleek and clean, and I'm decorating to my kind of style here, where I love the modern style, but I have so much clutter, it's not even funny. I have little things everywhere. Every space that you could possibly fill things, I have crammed with things. Every shelf in my house has 500 things crammed on it. I love it. You never know what you're gonna find when you're poking around in my apartment, is what I'm saying. Yeah, so it was on this table because there's so many cute little barbecue implements and stuff that, and the little sauces and everything, and I was I wanted to be able to put more of them out, but for some reason they all just kind of wanted to snap to the same spot and layer on top of each other and not fit. So I tried using those little posts, and they work perfectly on this table. So you can see, like, well, this one wasn't working with me, but you put them on and you can see, like, it looks like the bottle is stuck inside, like, the wood beam. It's, like, set down in it, which looks weird until you turn it, you use the other alternate color, which is the invisible one. And then it looks like they're perfectly sitting on the table, and I love that. The problem I was having with the bookcase in Granny Smith's room was, for some reason, I don't know, the lamp it just wasn't fitting on it right, so I don't know. But yeah, so it works perfectly on certain tables. It just wasn't really working on the bookcase. Could have just been maybe it wasn't made for bookcases. I don't know, but yeah. So it was not having fun with me, but that's the way those are supposed to work, and really love those. I think I found them on Tumblr somewhere. They are phenomenal. I got them a long time ago when I was doing, like, my boutique bakery for my Get to Work series that, you know, wrapped up a little while ago. You know, it was just so much nicer because you could put, hey, I'm going to put a table out and I'm going to put, like, a ton of little things. It's actually really helpful when you're putting, like, legit little things. Like, if you're putting a couple of big things on a table, it's going to work because they're going to snap to the grid. But if you're putting, like, little bottles or something, it's like, okay, I've got this giant table and 3 things on it. So those were so great. You could, like, arrange them and actually make it, like, look like a legit display. So, and they come in handy for my decorating style, where I need things in places. I don't use them all the time, though, because I kind of find I should use them more often, to be honest with you, but things mostly work. You know, you can just kind of twist things around and then fit it, and it kind of works. But they are great for those odd times when it doesn't. But it's just, okay, I ended up settling on these end tables, obviously. And, you know, we're just kind of filling them with clutter. I actually really liked, and I think I added it later, and it might be in this actual one, where I kind of found that, like, one of the little objects that I had was, like, a little stack of knitting. It was actually just up on the screen in the catalog, but I didn't realize what it was until I looked at it, and I'm like, oh my god, it's knitting. And I'm like, I'm putting that on that table because Granny Smith would so be sitting there in her little chair knitting. Awesome. The people that create some of this custom content are just amazing, because, like, the little sewing machine, the little typewriter, the knitting, I mean, all of these things, it's just, I want to squeal with delight with all the little things that make it so realistic and homey, and, like, just those little additive things are just great to me. But yeah. So originally this was in 2 parts. That's why it's a little bit faster than the other versions. Only because it would have been, I think, like 15 minutes, and we would have ended by this point, you know, after I did those end tables, and then this would have been a whole separate other video. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna make them a little bit faster, put them together. It's a little bit longer than the prior ones. Actually, I think, I'm not even sure what the earlier ones were time-wise. But I kind of, this way you can get the whole entire living room in one shot, because breaking it up, like, here's part of the living room, it's like, oh, come on. You know, and then even for me, then I'm like, and now I've got to jump back in and be like, and I know, okay, I'm doing other different stuff, so I'm like slapping them together. We're just gonna speed it up a little bit, but yeah. So of course, you know, they've got to have their bookcase. And I kind of wanted to put the guitar in there, because I kind of figured, you know, yeah, a little acoustic guitar, that's great, that's perfect. Again, little things that make it a little more homey. And of course, you know, it's their living room. Yes, I would love for them to just spend their time sitting around talking to one another and never doing anything else. But, you know, they gotta have their TV, so that's why we put it there. And they're gonna have to have a computer. I actually think I put computers in every single one of the bedrooms upstairs. I may not have an Apple Bloom's room, I'm not sure, I don't honestly remember. But I still wanted them, you know, to have a main computer so they can sit down here, oh, you know, do stuff on the computer, someone's watching TV, or somebody else is, like, sitting there, Granny Smith sitting there knitting, you know, it's still, like, their family room, their living room. It's a combo, living family room, because they're going to live in there with their family. Here I was kind of just, wasn't just randomly putting a bunch of stuff. I swear I was like, okay, why in the world can I not put stuff on the upper shelf on this desk? Because I know there are other desks where you can put things on that back level, and I'm like, why can't I put things here? because I want to decorate back there. It's a little shelf area. I need to be able to put things there. Yeah, but it wasn't letting me, so I was kind of disappointed by that. But yeah, so I should have used those little post things. But see, I don't think of that, even though I have them and I just used them like 2 minutes ago. And literally, because this was all, I did this all at the same time, so, I mean, I may have broken it up into originally 2 parts, but it was all, I decorated it all at the same time, so. But yeah, so we're just putting some more decorative stuff out there. Tons of plants. Of course I would have tons of plants. Oh, here we go. Another one of those things. I came across this and I'm like, oh my god, I have gardening implements. This is awesome. So, it's a little shelf. We'll see more of it later, I believe, when I find other things to put on it. But it's a little shelf that had like some little gardening tools hanging from it. And I'm like, that's so going out there in the barn. I don't know why I never came across it before, like when I was decorating the barn, but this is what happens. I find things after the fact. Or I found a perfect thing that would have been great in here, because in the one section of this room, I do like a little painting area. And even though I don't know who paints in this house, I don't know. But it just fit in the house and it looked nice. But I know I had gone through the catalog, and when I was outside in the barn, everywhere I've gone, I've seen these, like a little paint can filled with paint brushes or whatever. I know it's like little brush things, and I'm like, oh, okay, great, perfect. I seriously sat there for 10 minutes scrolling through the thing, and it's gonna be in here because I'm not gonna cut it out, so you're just gonna see, like, nothing. Nothing's gonna look like it's happening. And just trying to find this to put in this area, and I just freaking couldn't, and it was driving me crazy, and I still haven't found them again. I love these little empty frames. I mean, they're just decorative, but I think it like kind of is cute, because that's kind of where I was like, oh, I definitely want to put a painting area, because it looks like here are the frames for the canvases, just kind of around. Or, you know, even on this area, it's like, oh, here is the frame for, you know, oh, they haven't put their pictures up in the house yet. And it's just, I don't know, I just really liked it, and I kind of felt like that was something that would be there. And I'm just, you know, messing around, trying to put some different decor and stuff like that, and then I was like, let's put pictures up, and then I was like, okay, that wasn't working, so I kind of just put everything back. Like I said, I like to cram everything as much as possible into my decorating when I do it. If I just kind of slap a few things in, then I'm just not in the mode to decorate, but when I get in the mood to decorate, it's like this, and it's just insanity, and it never stops. But yeah. And here I'm obviously I'm putting decorative pillows on the couches and things. So I'm like trying to find like ones that kind of match. And I actually, that one like is perfect color-wise, and so is that one. But I was kind of like trying to mix and match them on the chairs, so like the pillow on this little chair here wasn't so perfectly matching to it. So this little aqua kind of one matched. It doesn't fit perfectly because it's either going to be sitting out too far or it kind of like bleeds into the sides of the chair, but I was like, whatever, when they sit in it, it's going to look ridiculous. Anyway, you know, because those pillows aren't meant for people to sit in them. I was trying to find an end table too. I actually don't think I found an end table. I don't think a coffee table. I don't think I found a coffee table because like everything was just, yeah, I mean, it just wasn't working. That one size-wise would have worked, but I really wanted to put that knitting out, so, you know, I ended up just kind of moving some stuff around, and, like, and of course the apples, you know, somebody's munching an apple, drinking their coffee, knitting, and the letter A. I love that, because I don't know, there's just a few random ones, and there's an A, and there's an M, and then there's the ampersand, and I don't know where they came from or whatever, but I love the fact that there's an A, like, for the apple family, and I was like, that's perfect. But yeah, so here we go. This is that little shelf that I put out there because I found some more gardening implements. So I'm like putting all the gardening stuff, and I was just so ecstatic that I found this shelf because I'm like, that's all I kept thinking. I'm like, they're farmers, they're gardeners. Like, why are there no gardening things? And then I'm like, oh, I have all this gardening stuff. Look at that. Like, I mean, originally when I built the barn and I did the decorating in there, I didn't have them, but you know, and then I'm just kind of putting it out around to kind of like, you know, look like somebody left their gloves and their tools hanging out. So, but yeah, like I didn't have some of this custom content when I did the barn, but so that's why I kind of found it later, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm moving this stuff around here. But yeah, So, yeah, we're just putting... So this is just kind of like, hey, we're doing some gardening inside, you know, in the house. Well, in the barn, obviously, and just slapping some things around out there. Is that where I left the guitar? Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I put things down and I move them and I'm like, oh, I guess I moved it. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, I liked it better somewhere else. Or, you know, why didn't I put this there? Yeah, but I definitely knew I wanted to do a little painting area. And it was like perfect in this little corner. And it's kind of cool because, again, they can stand here and paint and talk. And like everybody can be in the same room doing a bunch of different hobbies and things. You know, and I really like that. So, yeah, and then I was just trying to kind of find a table that I could use to like put some art supply kind of things on that, you know, would kind of work. So, oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean you on. Yeah, I think those are all Audrey Hepburn, but again, they have a giant letter A. It's perfect. But yeah, so just kind of putting things out that could kind of look like art clutter, and I think that's cute because it's like a little journal with like some little pictures and stuff, and pretend those are art books. And yeah, I'm just kind of trying to arrange things because you know, so it just looks as filled as possible. So like, there's that can with like pens and pencils, but I swear there was another one that says something about brushes. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I swear I went through, this is like, I'm going through here like 700 times. Like, why can't I find this? Like, I am recording. I'm going to be speeding this up, but holy crap. It's going to take me 6 days to try to find this. And I tried searching for it too, because I knew it said something about paint or something, or brushes, and it just didn't even come up, and I'm like, okay, I must be crazy that like I imagined it, and I'm like, I'll find it like doing a total other build and be like, okay, here it is, and I'll still never be able to find it afterward. But yeah, so I'm just trying to fill this table with as much kind of artsy clutter as I can, so that little camera's cute because it's kind of, you know, there with that notebook that's got the photos, even though they're Polaroid photos, and that's so not a Polaroid camera, but whatevs. You have a little photo frame again, and all sorts of different things. I don't know exactly, I don't even remember what I put out here, but this is actually good to have, so when I put this down in my actual LP game, we'll see if all the stuff stays or what goes missing. This is the last time it will ever look this good. And I'm kind of trying to just find like a painting to hang on the wall. Something that's artistic but not like totally modern, because I don't want it to look completely out of place. So yeah, just trying to find something. I think I went with that because I'm like, okay, it kind of works. You know, it looks like sketches and, you know, whatever. And I love that rooster. That's hilarious. And it kind of matches the room, obviously, with the green frame. But, you know, it needed to be large and in charge. That's just so wrong. And again, like another little cork board. I didn't put as many postcards on it, you know, whatever. But and then I'm trying to find a rug to put here that kind of looks like a drop cloth, but isn't, like, dumb looking. So, you know, it's just I think I just go with a little simple rug. But, yeah. So, you know, obviously, because you don't want to get paint on the wood floor, so, yeah. And I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, I was trying to find like a little, there is no welcome mats. It's ridiculous, but yeah, so we're just kind of finishing up on this one. That's pretty much it. I'm just trying to find something that would be used as a welcome mat, which we don't have, which is disappointing, but yeah. So I will leave that here. I will see you guys next time. Remember, give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.